Good morning. Thank you for coming and joining us to celebrate the kickoff of the 2021 Sioux Empire United Way campaign. I'm Marie Frederickson. I'm the 2020 Sioux Empire United Way Board Chair. Although United Way is one volunteer opportunity I've been involved in, it was actually my first volunteer nonprofit opportunity when we moved to Sioux Falls in 1985. And at that time I was helping to audit the packets, the business packets that came in from the volunteers. Various capacities over the following years in loan executive, etc. And I've been on the board and now in my role as board chair. The term that I would use to describe this year certainly is fluid, which covers a lot of ground of uncertainties that we all feel right now with COVID and uncertainties of how long it's going to continue the impact. But even in times of uncertainties, we face the challenge of being able to move ahead, including in volunteer efforts and financially supporting our nonprofits in the community, like the Sioux Empire United Way. I came across a quote that I felt was indeed profound, but extremely applicable now more than ever. C.S. Lewis, who's a well-known author, was also a teacher of English literature at Cambridge and Oxford from 1925 to 1963, and a coworker of mine referred me to a quote of a sermon, a lecture that C.S. Lewis gave to his students, and that was in 1939. And the focus of the quote was the need for continued learning, continued personal growth, and continued moving ahead, even in the face of the building war at that time impacting England. So even in the face of growing fear and immense uncertainty. And that speech was entitled Learning in Wartime. And here's the quote: "If we let ourselves, we shall always be waiting for some distraction or another before we really get down to work. The only people who achieve much are those who want knowledge so badly that they seek it while conditions are still unfavorable. Favorable conditions never come. We must do the best we can." The Sioux Empire United Way funded programs were able to refocus this year beyond the distraction of COVID and respond to our community's needs, better in part due to the stable support and funding of donations to the Sioux Empire United Way, because we strive to do the best that we can. In a year when many households face uncertainties, and some perhaps maybe for the first time, the Sioux Empire United Way funded programs continue to address that uncertainty by helping children, vulnerable adults, and people in crisis. Just a couple examples. Childcare centers adjusted to providing full-time, out-of-school time care in early spring. Active Generations adjusted their nutritional services and increased their ability to safely deliver meals to older adults. And the helpline experienced a 94% increase in calls to 211, providing information and resources to people in need. We must do the best we can. Despite the distraction, a successful 2021 Sioux Empire United Way campaign is needed more than ever to ensure that these services continue to meet our community needs. Again, we must do the best we can, and I hope you can all help us achieve our goal despite the distraction. To tell us how and why that is important for our 2021 campaign, please welcome Joel Sylvester, Volunteer Campaign Chair.
Good morning, everybody. As Marie said, my name is Joel Sylvester. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at 5 Star Call Centers, and this is my 20th year as part of the campaign cabinet. I started by running campaigns through different corporations and have done everything from being in a dunk tank to dressing up like a stormtrooper to rappelling down a staircase. So a few reasons. I wanted to start by just telling a few stories that really resonate with me and some of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the Sioux Empire United Way. So today we're at the South Dakota Furniture Mission. Janine, their executive director, is going to talk a little bit more about their mission and the things that they do. But one story that really resonates to me was 4 years ago I was in a campaign and in a rally, and one of my team members actually told a story about moving to Sioux Falls. She and her 2 young children, school-aged children, had to move to Sioux Falls as part of a abusive relationship, and they had secured housing and had the kids ready to go to school, but they had no furniture. They were sleeping on sleeping bags and eating on TV trays and folding chairs. And the first day of school, the elementary counselor actually was talking to the student and found this out and connected them to the furniture mission. And within days, they had delivered to their house a full living room set, chairs, bedrooms, and a kitchen table, which became the desk where they all did homework. So if you just think about the difference for that mom to be able to have kids sleeping in a bed and eating at a table, and the way that she can communicate, can contribute and work and not be worried about that. And think about those kids, how much more engaged and ready to learn that they are. So one of the many stories I've heard, throughout rallies in the 20 years that I've been part of the Sioux Empire United Way. For me personally, one of the agencies that really resonates to me is the Volunteers of America Daybreak program. My dad actually had early onset Parkinson's disease, and taking care of him was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. I didn't have the resources or the tools or the mentality or the patience to do really what was necessary to take care of an aging parent. So my stepmom and I were able to utilize the Daybreak program, and not only was it a weight off my mind while he was there that I knew he was taken care of, but as I was dropping him off and picking him up, I really learned how compassionate and how patient and some of the tools that they used to work with him that I was then able to use to be more successful myself. And then the last story I want to tell today is I've got a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and when they were first born, they always got the Dolly Parton Imagination Library books. And I remember them running to the mailbox to get it, and we would read the books, and it would start obviously with my wife and I reading to them, and then eventually as they grew they were able to read them. So again, to think about the way that they became passionate about learning and reading and understanding really helped jumpstart them from that end of it. Our tagline for the United Way is "It's easy to do good," and it really is. Today in our world, more than ever, we need everybody to do some good, and this is a real easy way to do that. So as we looked at this year's campaign, for 25 straight years, the Impact team has looked and came up with what the need is in the Sioux Empire, and that goal has been hit. And this year, more than ever, we need to hit for the 26th consecutive year. As you look at what's going on with the pandemic and other things throughout the Sioux Empire, the need is greater than ever. Our goal this year is $10,041,306, and every single one of those dollars has been looked at by the Impact team and made sure that it will be efficiently used in the Sioux Empire exactly where it's needed to help those that really need it, just for that little extra step in the right direction. That supports 88 different programs and 42 different agencies. I'm going to tell you a little bit later about the great team of volunteers that I have that are going to be telling the United Way story, as well as the great support that we've already got from some of our corporate givers. But before that, I do want to turn it over to Janine to tell you a little bit more about the South Dakota Furniture Mission.
Thank you, Joel. The Furniture Mission of South Dakota is a Christian-based nonprofit organization that helps families in transition, and we would not be possible without the United Way support. The Furniture Mission was founded just 17 years ago, so when we talk about the United Way being such a big portion of the Sioux Falls community for the last 26 years, 17 of those years the Furniture Mission has been a support of a major portion of the United Way. $250 is what it costs the furniture mission to service a family of 5, and the United Way makes that extremely possible by making sure that we can service those families. Joel talked about a woman in transition leaving an abusive relationship. We want to continue to help those who have been referred to us by the services we provide. This support includes donations of furniture and financial assistance to help maintain our day-to-day operating expenses. The number of people being referred to us remains consistent even through times of change. In fact, that time of change has occurred a little bit more in the last 6 months of COVID, and so making sure that we're able to continue to support these families is a number one priority in the Sioux Empire community. Those types of services, helping a disabled veteran, a parent leaving an abusive environment, an inmate just released from prison, refugees and immigrants, a family on a fixed income, an elderly person unable to stretch that Social Security check, and a teen mother. We feel that by having the basic needs that make a house a home, a person can obtain the tools to help them become a successful citizen in our community. So we're so grateful to the United Way, and we are grateful to have this opportunity today to continue to share that.
Thanks, Janine. You know, that's a little bit of the who and the why and the what, and now I want to talk a little bit about the how we are going to get to that $10 million goal this year. You know, just like everything, we are pivoting and looking at the past and what we've learned from the past and what's worked in the past and really adapting it to today's world. So the campaign this year is going to look a lot different. We've already done some virtual rallies. We've done an outdoor rally or a couple outdoor rallies. We've done socially distanced rallies. If you just look at this morning, you know, our kickoff usually has a couple hundred people, and it's usually a fairly close, event. You know, looking at today and our needs, we've altered this, from the end of it. One of the things that always resonates with me is that leaders show up, and right now, this year, we really do need the leaders throughout the Sioux Empire to show up. We need every single person that has the ability to help those less fortunate to really look and identify ways that they can do that. You know, everybody has changed the way they do things. Businesses are doing more video calls and more work at home. Education is being done remotely. You know, people are cutting their own hair. So just like all the different things that we've had to learn over the last 7 months of how things can be done differently, it's going to be really the same thing with the Sioux Empire United Way. I want to thank all the volunteers in advance for those that have already been out there figuring out ways to figure out different virtual meetings, virtual rallies, video, social, all those different types of things. I know many of you are watching this today on our Facebook link, and please watch that throughout the course of the campaign, because you will see updates that normally would probably be done in person and will be done virtually to make sure everybody that can stay safe. Again, the Sioux Empire United Way, it really is an easy way to do good. And I would ask all of you to look at ways that you can, in this time of need, do good throughout the community. Thank you.